Welcome back to the Stephen A. Smith Show. Let me get right into it, all right, because I've been waiting to talk to this man. My next guest has a story that sounds like it came from a Hollywood movie. He's 5'11", a zero-star recruit beating the #1 team in the country last week, Alabama, 40-35. Please welcome the starting quarterback of the Vanderbilt Commodores, the one and only Diego Pavia. What's up, man? How you doing, my brother? How's everything going?
I appreciate you having me, Stephen A.
You know, I love feel-good stories. I really, really do. But I don't appreciate how you ruined my weekend. I didn't expect Alabama to be losing to a team it hadn't lost to in the last 23 contests, in the last 40 years. But you come on the scene and all of a sudden just ruined everything for Alabama. Major props to you. Got to give it to you. Talk to me about how much this victory meant to you and the program, what it's been like for you this last week.
It means a lot, for sure. I'm a JUCO kid, and then now finally we're getting rewarded for the hard work that we put in. Like, we ain't finished, though. We want something way bigger than this, and, this is just the start.
Talk to me about what the conversation was like for you guys going into this game against Alabama. Nobody gave y'all a chance or what have you, but you're known as, you got a lot of moxie, you got a lot of courage. You're a former wrestler, if I remember correctly. You don't back up from anybody. You love challenges. Everybody brags about this mystique that you bring to any place that you touch. So what were you doing with your teammates the week leading into the Alabama game?
Shoot, I would be straight up. I was sitting on my couch. I was watching, I think it was the Liberty game, and I'm next to Eli, our tight end. I pop up to see, ESPN, what they got to say. I see Stephen A. pop up talking about, hell nah, don't take Vandy. And I was like,
right,
he must not know. You know what I mean? And Eli's like,
I did.
Eli won't see you. He's like, I haven't seen you lose by that many points ever. And I was like, the smart man would bet it.
Well, I'm not Mad Dog Russo. That man bets and loses money every week. I keeps my money, okay? But I didn't give y'all a snowballs. I didn't give y'all a snowballs chance in hell. I thought y'all were going to lose by about 30. I really, really did. So you damn sure made me out to be a liar. Props to you. Before I go any further, I wanted you to take a moment to tell the nation who you are. When they think about Diego Pavia, if you had to describe yourself to America, describe yourself to the football world.
I'm a winner. I'm electric. I'm gonna bring everything I got every single game. My family's gonna show out. We're gonna play hard, and my family's gonna party hard after. And that's how we run stuff around here.
And you say that, you know what, your family, I read up about your brothers now. I read up about your brothers, and obviously you got a sister that's going to be a star at New Mexico State, if I remember correctly. Am I right in saying that? She's going to be a star at New Mexico State. Am I right?
No, she just started 8th grade. She got her first Division I offer at UNM. She hasn't committed or anything, but, she's you think I'm good. That girl is dominant. Like, she's going to be the next big thing. She's going to be up there now.
What do you believe you would be as a football player if you didn't have those family members of yours in attendance raising holy hell and making all the noise in the world and psyching you up? What would you be if you didn't have your parents and your brothers and everybody in the stands and it was just you playing without those family members, dare I say, intimidating folks in a very, very beautiful way, by the way?
Yeah, no, if I didn't have my family members, like a lot of stuff, that's where my mentality comes from. They set the standard, and my brothers, used to beat me up when I was little. But I hated losing, and they knew that. We used to, put our pads on before the season and go smash each other on the grass, next to the house. And so that really started. And my mom knows I hate losing. She hates losing. And, if I go home a loser that night, no one wants to talk to me. And that's just reality. And so I just got to keep the standard, keep going. They push me to be a better person overall, but I can't wait to get on this journey and continue this journey.
Hold up. Did you just say even mama don't speak to you when you lose? Is that what you just said? You just said that even mama doesn't speak to you when you lose?
Yeah. It's different. It's different.
Is different in the Pavia household. It's different like that. What about, listen, your brothers, they're going to be there no matter what and what have you. I remember reading the story where you talked about how they would kick your butt, but ultimately you got bigger than all of them, and then you started beating their butt. When did that start happening? When did you start beating up on your brothers?
It'd probably be like freshman year. We wrestled. All of us wrestled when we were little. I was a big recruit when I was very, very little, like 6th grade. And then once I turned 9th grade, that's when they really stopped beating up on me, and I was able to hold my own and, not manhandle them, but I'd always beat them.
What got you started with football?
My brother, so at 6 years, you can only start playing football when you're 7 in New Mexico. My mom lied on my birth certificate when I was 6 so I could play up. I played there for like 4 years. And then when everyone went off, to ahead to high school, I went back down to my own league. And, I love football, though. Like, I have a genuine love for it. I love the game. I just love what it brings, love the team, love the people I'm around. I get to meet people like you because of football.
I'm listening and reading your story, and I'm looking at you. I'm looking at one of your receivers, Eli Stowers, 25 receptions, 333 yards thus far this season. Your leading receiver. When you were in JUCO, if I remember correctly, wasn't he the quarterback? Wasn't he ahead of you?
No, he transferred in from New Mexico State thinking that he was going to take my job, and then
gotcha.
he ended up becoming a tight end because I won over the job. And Eli's a freak athlete. People are going to freak out how crazy that kid, how high he jumps, how fast he is. When he comes pro day, he's going to jump. If he's already not like a top 10 pick, he's going to jump up the board.
Now, you talked about him, and in reading stories and doing research, and you talked about how y'all relationship is and what have you, and how y'all have gotten pretty close. Is he the one that's got you going to church? Is he the one that got on you for missing church one day? Is that him?
That is him. That kid's different. He's wired different. He keeps my mental. I keep him on the game. So it's like a perfect balance. We're roommates. So we just spend a lot of time together. And I don't got a car right now. So he's been taking me back and forth to practice.
So how does that work exactly? Because, going to church and having the good Lord in you, that can take away some of the edge that you might want to bring on the football field. Did you ever talk to Eli about that? Do you ever bring that to the equation and say to him, I gotta let that rebel out in me, or are you just acclimated yourself accordingly?
Yeah, so I tell him, I'm like, hey, like, this music gets me in the mode to go out and do like and feel like the man, you know what I mean? He's like, nah, man, you can't be listening to that. Like, listen to gospel music, listen to this. And he gives me other options, variations. That's something that I need to tweak and flip the switch on. But yeah, there's different ways around it that he's taught me. But Eli, keeps that standard of God, which is, that's what I'm here for. I'm for eternity. I want to live in heaven with him.
I got to transition back to the football field in this regard. Deion Sanders, the one and only Prime Time, shouted you out on social media after the game. Now, you were being recruited by Prime Time at Jackson State and HBCU before landing at New Mexico State. Talk about what that recruitment was like and how you ended up making your decision to go elsewhere, before ending up at Vanderbilt.
Yeah, he called me, and he was real. That's why I like, Coach Prime. He said, hey, I got a backup spot for you. My kid's the quarterback. Like, if you want to come, you could be the backup. And I was like, shoot, I feel like I'm better than anyone in the world. That's how I feel. But, for him keeping it real, I appreciate people like him in the world that won't lie to you. And that's why I feel like, Colorado, they turned over the page, and look at them. They're a very good team. They got everyone watching them. But yeah, Coach Prime is a prime example of keeping it real, like a Coach Kill. Them two is kind of on the same page, you know what I mean?
And you talked about Coach Lilly because, he came over with you, damn near brought his entire staff, it seemed like, to come there with you. How comfortable has that made the transition for you? Talk to me about the character of those individuals and how helpful they've been to your career thus far, especially at Vanderbilt.
Coach Kill is like my pops, for real. When I was negotiating what I wanted coming to Vanderbilt, he was the one negotiating for me. And, whatever he says goes around this thing. But, Coach Kill, he puts me in a position to go win every Saturday. And then, on the sideline, he just keeps me calm, telling me just play my game, what I need to do, just being the person that I am. And then, he brought the offensive coordinator, Coach Beck, here too. And they just let me play free. Really, they let me check in and out of plays and do, like an NFL quarterback would.
You know, it's interesting. You just brought up negotiate your deal for you. I've waited so long for the day where you can hear college athletes talk about, because I am a proponent of college athletes getting taken care of, because we're getting robbed for decades and decades and decades, and that's that's no longer going to be the case. How has it been? How do you feel about the whole NIL, name, image, likeness, being able to negotiate deals, profit off of your exploits on the football field? Speak to what level of importance that is to you, that is to college athletes, and what do you believe that's ultimately done for the sport of college football?
I feel like it's a business now. You know what I mean? It's no more fun football. You either win and you're in, or you're losing and you're out. But I think the NIL should move more to an incentive base, because there's kids getting paid who aren't even playing. But like, you know, the kids who are dominant, you know, they deserve that money, who are bringing in money to the university. They should be getting paid high dollar. That's the reality of it. That's what I think. Is it should move to more of an incentive base in your production.
Did you want to go and renegotiate whatever deal you got after you beat Alabama last week? Did you try that?
I wish it worked. I wish it worked that way. I wish it worked that way for sure. But yeah, my contract's in it's already written.
I got you. 0-60. That was your record versus top 5 teams before your win versus number 1 Alabama. What do you believe this victory has done for the program and what it ultimately has done for you?
I think people thought that we could do it outside of us. We knew we could do it. And now it just shifts the mindset of the fans. They need to, you know, come out more, support. You know, our stadium's, you know, 75 to 80% filled with the other fans. But yeah, that video is dope. That video is dope. You know, the student section shows out though. And on third down this weekend, I can honestly say, like, it got pretty loud.
And listen, Nashville's a hell of a town. I mean, you win it, you could do some things. And by the way, you're in good shape, because I'll be damned if the Tennessee Titans gonna win for you. I tell you that much. Y'all might have the city. Y'all might have the city on lock. Y'all keep winning, because I ain't expecting much from them. But I gotta ask you this: you got a game coming up against Kentucky. Both of y'all are 3-2. You beat Alabama last week, but you turn around and lose this week. You're gonna have people out there talking about y'all are one-hit wonders or what have you. What's your mindset? What have you told your teammates about this upcoming game against Kentucky?
I told them this is the biggest game of our lives right now. Where we want to go, we cannot, you know, afford to come out flat. We cannot afford to not bring our best football. You know, we got to come out, swing first, hit first, and, you know, land punches, counter punches, and just keep going every single time. You know, next play, best play.
Some people joke, but not really joke. They talk about Vanderbilt being the Ivy League school of the South. That's what they say, right? And you being the star quarterback at Vanderbilt, the face of the program right now, there's no question about that. What would you say to people who were considering coming to Vanderbilt? I mean, if you had to recruit on behalf of the school, what would you say?
First off, I'll tell you what I told Coach Lee when I first got here. I had my degree in New Mexico State, and I told him I ain't coming here to do school. I'm coming here to play football, and that's just real.
That's what you would say. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. By the way, Johnny Manziel surprised you during a live appearance on College Football Live, if I remember correctly, right? What was that like for you?
That man's elite. You guys know that. In college, he was the most unstoppable player, if not the greatest quarterback of all time in college. So for him to pop out, you know, show me some love, you know, that's a much respect to Johnny. And, you know, that's my guy. I watch his highlights before the game and then watch my highlights after.
I'm looking at you. Last question here. I'm looking at your schedule, man. You got a chance. You got a chance, Diego. I mean, if you show out against Kentucky, yeah, y'all got Ball State after that. Then Texas is number 1 now in the nation. I mean, my Lord, if y'all end up beating two of the top ranked, two number 1 ranked teams in the nation in the same season, could you imagine that? There's Auburn, there's South Carolina. You got LSU and Tennessee to close out the season. I mean, you show out in these games. Diego Pavia, I mean, you're a household name right now, but I can assure you it's going to elevate to another level. You handle your business against those schools. Have you thought about that at all?
I'm worried about this game, and this game's at night. And you know what they say, the stars come out at night. So let's see it on Saturday.
Yeah, stars come out at night. I like that answer. I appreciate you. Diego Pavia, man, congratulations on your success, man. Thank you for coming on the show. Continue to do great things. I'm rooting for you. And listen, I hear that you know what you be trying to disguise. Your brothers was teasing you about how you be trying to disguise your height. You really 5'10", but you be standing on your tippy toes. Don't worry about that. The tallest quarterback is the one who wins. Tell him that. Tell him that.
Amen. Amen. You feel me?
All the best to you, my man. I'll see you down the road. Congratulations again.
I appreciate you, Stephen A. Thank you for having me.
Always, man. Take care of yourself. Congratulations. The one and only Diego Pavia. Your brother got a chance. Look at the schedule, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, just fantasize about this for a second. We didn't expect Vanderbilt to beat no damn Alabama and Jalen Milroe and the boys. We didn't expect that, but he did it, 40-35. You come back and you beat Kentucky. You beat Texas, they number one. You got Ewers or Manning at the quarterback spot, and you win that game. Auburn, South Carolina's nothing to sneeze at. LSU, you go beat them. You close out against Tennessee, you beat them. Diego Pavia, I mean, everybody will be talking about this brother if he pulls off. I mean, if they, dare I say, they win most, if not all, the rest of these games. That's just where I'm coming from. That's just where I'm coming from.